Okay friends, I just wanted to do a little jiu-jitsu, maybe warm up or cool down. You can pick and choose, maybe on your day off. Good little stretch. So thank you for joining me. Let's get started. So first thing we're going to do is take care of those highly neglected wrists. So come onto all fours into a tabletop position. Excellent. Good. Turn your fingertips towards your knees, however far is accessible to you. So if you can maybe only go 3/4 of the way, that's okay. But let's bring your fingers around as far as is accessible and kind of just rock back and forth. Just like that. Just waking up those wrists. Excellent. We put a lot of strain on our wrists and fingers in jiu-jitsu, as you all know. Sometimes we forget to waken up those wrists. So after you rock that way a couple times, turn your fingertips laterally out to the sides, just like that. Still in our tabletop position, and just rock side to side, forwards and backwards. Oh, just enough forwards too that you can kind of feel yourself on the fleshy part of the bottom of the thumb there. You want to really kind of work that joint a bit. We're not forcing anything, just wakening it up. Good. Maybe some little circles on the wrists. Excellent. Good. Just turn the other way. If you were doing circles to the right, do some circles to the left. Turn your fingertips so they're facing each other towards the middle. You get it. Same thing. Little circles back and forth, around. You should feel those wrists waking up a bit there. Again, we're not forcing anything, just some small movements. Excellent. Good. Now, come up to a tall kneeling. Take your feet and put the top of your right foot into the arch of your left. Just like that. So you're almost crossing it. So the top of your right foot into the arch of your left. Okay? Now, if this is accessible to you, depending on your knees, come all the way down onto your feet. Kind of just opening the ankles a bit. If not, you can put a blanket, a blanket or a bolster or anything. You can kind of help you there a bit. Okay, so it just kind of helps open up those ankles a bit more. You should feel the stretch on the front aspect of that right ankle especially, and on the Achilles. Okay, we're just going to sit here for just a second, and then we'll switch it out and do the top of the left foot into the arch of the right. Good. And don't forget to breathe, because if there's one thing that will be super beneficial as we go forward with jiu-jitsu is our breathing. We tend to hold our breath a lot, so we don't want to do that. Not only does breathing help keep us alive, it helps keep us calm. Okay, and come up. And let's swap it out. So top of the left foot into the arch of the right foot there. And again, you can put your blanket or block or bolster, anything that's comfortable for you, or just go fully down like such. And allow again those little foot and ankle muscles to actually get a bit of a stretch as well, okay? We tend to use those feet and hands a lot in our sport. Remember your breathing. Try and breathe from the belly as well. So Our nose is meant for breathing. So let's use our nose. Breathe in through the nose, expand the belly. Exhale through the nose, bring the belly back in. Retrain the brain a little to breathe the way we were meant to breathe. Excellent. All right. And come back up to all fours. Into our tabletop position again. Really root those hands down into your mat. Turn the front of your arms, or the biceps and the elbows there towards, so they're kind of facing the front. You want nice strong arms here, okay? We're gonna inhale, bring your navel towards the mat. Bring your chin and chest up for some cow position. Curl the toes and exhale, curve the spine, bring your chin to your chest, put your feet flat to the mat. For cat. Inhale, belly to the mat, chin and chest up for cow, curl the toes. Exhale for cat, curve the spine, chin and chest. When you're curving the spine, really push through the palms of the hand. Make some space in between those shoulders. And when you're bringing the navel to the mat, push your shoulder blades together there. Excellent. Do a couple more on your own. Curl, take an inhale, come back to neutral. Good. Curl your toes. And just come back as far as is accessible to you. Okay, again, just a little foot stretch here. There you go. If you can come all the way up, excellent. Again, even if you gotta go here, just pushing the heels back a bit, just allowing the toes and feet a good stretch. Nice tall spine, shoulders back. Sit proud. Really feel that stretch through the feet. To the best of your ability, okay? If you have to be up a bit, even if you gotta be here just to feel the stretch, that's okay. Either way, those toes are stretching. Remember that breath, in through the nose, belly expands, out through the nose, belly comes in. Come back onto all fours. I'm gonna go into a puppy pose here. I'm gonna give the shoulders a little workout. So keeping your hips up, walk your fingertips out. Bring your forearms and the forehead to the mat. Bring ourselves into a puppy pose. Nice stretch through those shoulders. If it's accessible to you, maybe bring your chin to the mat. Really deepen that stretch. Excellent. Inhale, bring yourself back up into tabletop. Exhale as you find your nice firm foundation here. Bring your left hand over towards your right a little more. We're gonna inhale, bring that right arm up. Exhale, sweep it right underneath that left shoulder, or left armpit. We're gonna do it. Thread the needle, extending that left arm straight out in front of you. Again, stretching across those shoulders. up into our tabletop. Let's work the other side here. Left arm up towards the sky, finding a little twist here, just for one breath. And then exhale, bring your left arm under that right armpit. Thread the needle on the other side. Bring your gaze right up underneath that right armpit if that's accessible to you. Next inhale, bring it back up. Let's bring ourselves down onto our bellies. Oh, excuse me. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bend that right knee, bring it out beside us here, giving a little stretch to those hip flexors, okay? So it could be a half frog position here. Bring your forearms to the mat, your elbows under your shoulders, kind of arch up a bit, chin and chest up. You really feel it through your lower back. You should feel a little bit through those hip flexors. We're just going to hold it here for a couple breaths. Disengage. If you feel like you've got your glute muscles tensed, kind of disengage them. You'll kind of feel yourself with your exhale soften into that stretch a little more. Good. And you can stay here, or if it's accessible to you, you can bring that right leg right out to the side. Here. Bring your chest back to the mat. Bend that right knee. Extend it out behind you. Bring yourself up onto all fours. Bring your hips all the way back into a child's pose, just extending that spine. Walk your fingers out, give a good stretch. Inhale, bring yourself back up into your tabletop, all the way through onto your belly again. This time we're going to do left side. So bend that left knee up so it's at a 90-degree angle. Forearms to the mat. Bring your chin and chest up. Excellent. Here, give you a little different view here. So I got that right leg extended. There we go. Left leg at a 90, forearms on the mat. There you go. Inhale, chin and chest up. Almost like a modified cobra if you're familiar with your yoga poses. One more breath. And when you're ready, extend that left leg straight out. You can only get halfway, and that's good too. That's excellent. If you want to stay here, stay with your knee bent. Totally up to you. It's your stretch. One more breath here. Bring yourself back up onto all fours. And float those hips back. Extend that spine again. Really feeling it through that lower back. Good. Inhale, come back up to tabletop. Curl your toes. Bring your hips up to the sky for downward facing dog. Just give us a little pedal out here. Kind of waken up those ankles. Good. Roni here for a second. We're going to bend that right knee. And we're going to bring it in towards that right elbow. and put the right shin to the mat. There's no need to have that shin parallel to the front, okay? If your heel comes into your left hip, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. If you find that your right hip doesn't want to come down to the mat, you can put a block for a little added support here in our half pigeon, okay? Totally up to you what you want to do here. You can stay here, feeling the stretch through those hips, through that lower back, or with each exhale, maybe you can find a little space and lower a little further onto the mat. Probably depending on what time of day it is too, if you just woke up or not. You can always rest your head on a block as well. If you don't have a block under that hip, you might find, as we sit here for a couple of breaths, you might gain a little extra space as well. Don't want to overdo it. Still want to protect that right knee. Half pigeon pose, I find, is such a valuable stretch for jiu-jitsu. Inhale, bring yourself back up, curl those left toes, push yourself up and extend that right leg up and back. Bring it down to meet the left for our downward facing dog again. Walk it out. Bend that left knee, bring it in towards that left elbow, shin to the mat. Extend that right leg out, pigeon on the other side. Again, have it high up, down on our forearms. Find a position that's best for you. You really feel it through that glute, okay? Through the SIs, through the glute. Take a couple more breaths here. Curl those right toes, push up, left foot meets right on the mat, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your right leg up, bring it up and step it in between your hands. If you gotta help it here, help it up a couple inches, do it. Help it. Bring your left knee to the mat, flatten your foot. Kind of heel toe your foot out to the right a bit, and bring your hands to the inside of that right foot. Inhale, kind of lengthen your spine out. As you exhale, let your chest sink towards the mat a bit more. Okay, good. Our lizard pose, variation here. You can even maybe give your right knee, come on to the outer edge of your right foot. And just a little slight pressure there. Again, you can be down on your left forearm, opening up that right hip. You should really feel this one. On your next inhale, bring it back to center. Curl your left toes, push through your hands, bring your right foot back to meet your left again, downward facing dog. Our little transition dog here. Pedal it out. Inhale, step your left foot forward. Again, give it a hand up towards the front of the mat if you need. Lower your right knee. Heel toe that left foot out towards the edge of the mat. Hands on grounded on the inside aspect here. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, soften the chest down towards the mat. If you can come down to the forearms, you can do that. Couple breaths here. Maybe bring it up a tiny bit, and again, come out to the outer aspect of that left foot. Add slight pressure onto the leg, opening that hip a little further. Back to center, curl those right toes, step that left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Good. While we're here in downward facing dog, really root through the palms of your hand, turn the biceps so they're facing the front of the mat, and bring your gaze towards your knees. If your legs aren't straight, that's okay. Have a generous bend there. Just allow your hips to reach for the sky. We're trying to go for some extension through the spine here. Maybe feel a little widening in the shoulders. On your next exhale, lower your knees down to the mat. Bring your hips all the way back to your heels. Stretch it out, child's pose. Inhale, bring it up, come onto your forearms. Let's go into puppy pose here again. Just working those shoulders. You might find you have a little more room here. If you weren't able to come to your chin at the beginning, you might be able to now. Excellent. Push through your hands, bring yourself up, and let's go on to our back here. Oh. We're gonna bring our left leg over our right, so our knees are kind of in line with each other. And then we're gonna bring our knees towards our chest. If it's accessible to you, maybe grab the outer edges of your feet here. And you can almost give yourself a nice stretch through our glutes. Slowly bringing your tops of your feet towards your upper body. Again, we're not forcing anything, we're just doing more of a passive assistance, as I like to call it. Remember your breath in through your nose, expand the belly, out through your nose, deflate the belly. A little tip for you, the longer your exhale, the more it helps calm the body, because it actually activates our calming system in our nervous system. So just a little tip. Release your feet, bring them to the mat, bring your right leg over your left, squeeze your knees to your chest, reach for the outer aspects of your feet, and passive assistance, bringing the tops of your feet towards your upper body. You might find that one side's a little harder than the other. Especially in the morning, I find my right side can be pretty tight. release your feet, bring them to the mat. Windshield wiper your legs side to side. Good. Bring your knees to your chest, soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Reach for the outer aspect of your feet, elbows to the insides of your knees. Happy baby. Again, working those hips. Maybe give yourself a little rock back and forth here. Excellent. Inhale with each exhale. See if you can find a little more room to bring those knees towards the shoulders, just a tiny bit more. On your next exhale, release your feet towards the mat. Bring your arms into a T to the sides. Exhale, let your knees drop to the left. Bring your gaze over to your right hand. If you're looking to deepen the stretch a bit more, maybe bring your left ankle onto your right thigh. Just deepen that twist. Inhale, bring your knees back up towards the sky. Exhale, twist to the right. Bring your gaze over towards your left hand. Might feel some pops and snaps going on in the back here, that's okay. Again, you can deepen this twist by bringing your right ankle onto your left thigh. Remember your breath. Always stay connected with the breath. It's one of the biggest benefits you will have in jiu-jitsu if you can kind of always be aware of your breathing. Excellent. Release that. Just stretch yourself out here. If you want, just reach out overhead, point your toes towards the back, squeeze everything out. There you go. Thanks for joining me today. Hope that was a little pre or post jiu-jitsu stretch. And I will be back with some more. Thanks for joining me.